Hi, my name is Chad Malden, and I'm the developer behind M.A.V. M.A.V is best described as playing with Legos, except you're building a giant mech of destruction. The combat in M.A.V is very tactical. There's a persistent war game mode, and there's tons of customization. The combat in M.A.V is tactical because it's all about teamwork. It's about making the right choices in the heat of combat. And a lot of the reason why is because each individual part on your M.A.V has its own health. So this has a lot of gameplay implications on evaluating your enemy's weakness and exploiting it. Now, the persistent game mode in M.A.V is called campaign mode, but a lot of people just refer to it as the war. This is where you'll join a server. You can create a new faction or join with a faction that's already existing on that server. And there's a big strategy element to the game at this point. You'll be fighting for territories. You'll be able to upgrade these territories once you conquer them. You'll have to defend them. You'll be able to hire mercenaries. There'll be all kinds of map-changing events like weather or random events like a new invading force. Or you can deploy these massive weapons to attack territories. There's a lot going on, more than just the normal combat of M.A.V. Now, one of the things that I really want to make sure is that the game is as open as possible. So while there will be an official server that you'll be able to play on with lots of people, you'll have access and the ability to run your own war server if you want. So if you just wanted to run a war for you and your friends, or even just you by yourself fighting against the AI, you can do that. It will be really easy to set up a server and have your own war. Now, I talked about the customization in M.A.V, and this is really kind of one of the key points of the game. There are thousands of parts to pick from to build your M.A.V, and because you are building it piece by piece, there are literally millions of different combinations that you can come up with. And this is not just cosmetic customization. Where you put your parts actually has a gameplay impact because, like I said, they all have their own individual health. So it matters if you're putting your weapons out in the open or if you're putting them behind armor. Recoil is calculated based on the physics of the weapon. So if you put it really far away from your pivot point, you're actually increasing the recoil by doing that. So there's a lot of customization, and already a lot of people have been coming up with some really cool builds to exploit certain features, and then people will come up with a build to counter that one. So there's a whole lot of metagame to the customization as well. There's also cosmetic customization, so you can change your paint options. There's camo patterns that you'll be able to apply and change the colors that go with that. So really, whenever you deploy in the battlefield in your M.A.V, that is going to be your unique M.A.V. It's very doubtful that somebody else will have that exact same build. Now, why am I coming to Kickstarter? The game is actually already in alpha. It has several hundred players that are playing it. So the reason why I'm coming to Kickstarter to ask for your help is I've gotten to the point where I can no longer keep up with the art, design, and code aspects all by myself. What I'd like to do is bring on an artist to focus on the art. They'll be able to push it to a quality beyond what I can do, and that will allow me to focus on the design and code aspects. And that way, the entire game will be better because we'll have better looking art, and the development process will go much faster because there'll be two people working on it. So we'll be able to get new art, new weapons, and everything like that in, while I'm also adding new features. Now, this is not the first game I've made. I've actually been in the game industry for 6 years, and I've shipped many games. They're all AAA titles, so this is the first game I've tackled as an indie developer. But like I said, I've been working on it for 2 years. I actually make a weekly update called the State of the Game, where I haven't missed a single update in that 2 years, where I, in detail, explain what I've been working on every week. I make regular releases of the game. I do stable builds and snapshot builds, so I typically get a stable build out every month, and snapshot builds can come 1 to 2 times per week. So the game is in active development. It's come a long way since I started, and I think that with your help and with the help of the fans and the help of an artist, we can really make something special out of this. Thank you for your support.